Welcome to Etalk, where we bring you everything from LA to Elon. I'm Carly McSwain, and coming up on the show tonight, our own Emily DeVito talks to some students about how to mesh styles with your roommate. We play some Elon trivia, and we'll introduce you to the newest staff member of the School of Communications. But first, I'm here with my beautiful co-hosts, Grace Baldridge, Ashley McGettrick, and Carrie Osler. All right, guys, so we've got some big topics to talk about today. And we know what everybody's buzzing about, or is it just me, the 50 Shades of Grey cast? So that came out a few days ago, and I don't know about you guys, I was a little disappointed seeing as I had never heard of either of the two main characters.
Now, did you all read the book? Because I didn't read the book.
I didn't read the book either.
I did read the books until my mom told me I was not allowed to.
I picked up the book at Barnes & Noble, literally turned to a random page, read maybe 5 sentences, said, that's enough, thank you, and put it down.
I didn't need to read it because everyone in the world was talking about it. Right.
And people tell you stories about it too. It's almost like an experience that people go on and then they just tell you and you're.
But that's why I read it. I wanted to be in the know, you know. But I already feel uncomfortable that it's going to be a movie because even reading it as a book, I felt somewhat violated, you know. And now that it's going to be on the big screen, I mean, I just can't really.
I don't think there's a way to tastefully do it. That's what their issue is going to be.
I think that's why we don't have actors that we recognize in the cast
because so many people turned it down.
Actor.
It's a hard sell.
But you know what? I don't think that they could have a big name actor. I feel like the characters are so themselves that having a big name would kind of conflict with the character and the actor, you know?
I mean, everybody was saying they wanted Blake Lively this, Blake Lively that, but I mean, I feel like no way. She's way too classy.
Sisterhood in the Traveling Pants.
I know, from Traveling Pants to No Pants. No. I'm not sure she would do it. But another big cast came out, right?
Another cast reveal. I'm pretty excited about this. Dancing with the Stars just came out.
There's actually some stars on this season.
Yeah, there are some names that are familiar. We have Snooki, Christina Milian, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Amber Riley from Glee. We have Valerie Harper. And King of Queens, Corbin Bleu.
Corbin Bleu, yeah.
I think that's going to be good. High School Musical.
Okay, he was very talented.
Well, I think that this is a cast of a lot of performers. I mean, Amber Riley, Christina Milian, Corbin Bleu, they all have dance experience, so I think it's going to be competitive.
Like, what about Bill Nye?
Snooki was a cheerleader, so there we go.
She's
really in good shape.
Guys, don't rule out Bill Nye. He's going to have a lot of chemistry up there on stage.
No, I think he'd probably be good at like the lifts from all his physics knowledge and things, maybe.
He's not really going to be doing calculations while he's out there.
You never know.
If he pulls out a pad of paper. I mean, they're definitely, he's the gimmicky contestant. You always have a gimmicky contestant. Snooki's another one of those. But I think that actually there could be some interesting competitors. It's going to be a good season.
Okay, call me crazy. I thought Bill Nye was like really old.
I actually thought Bill Nye had passed away.
Yeah. So, okay, thank God somebody said it because.
I think he is. I think he just looks really good.
Well, then I realized I was thinking Mr. Rogers. So. Big mix up. But you know who I did want to see on Dancing with the Stars? I wanted to see a Jonas Brother, but I think they are making a big comeback.
Yes, they are. I can tell you firsthand that I was at the concert series this summer and I did stalk them because I went through a phase in middle school where I really was a stalker, groupie, you could say.
It's a phase.
I'm still going.
No, it's not the phase.
Okay.
I call it that for,
it's life.
You know, to kind of save myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's life. It's a lifestyle. And I did meet them again this summer.
Their tour is going strong. I mean, I'm still getting some emails, I guess it's a spam email thread, but it is saying Jonas Brothers are
They're on their
back.
second leg.
No, they are back. I mean, they are hot. They've got the reality TV show. And did you know that Nick is dating a young woman who is actually friends with some Elon students?
Okay.
You know, this show is
Nick
LA.
I need to be friends
Nick
with
is
her.
the cute one. That's
okay.
for sure.
So he's dating Olivia Culpo, who was the former Miss Universe or something like that.
Casual.
And
I applied for that.
There was a picture of them kissing at the U.S. Open. So you know, I don't know.
And
so maybe Nick will be in the area soon.
Did you know that someone, because I work in the Elon television office, who used to work there, an alumnus of the office, house sat for the Jonas Brothers and bumped into them.
Oh, I think maybe Nick is trying to come off of the Married to Jonas, where Kevin is showcased and his wife Danny is recently pregnant.
Yes.
So I think he's trying to, move to the next level. Maybe capitalize off.
You know,
of
Nick was always the best one, the cutest.
The cutest.
You know? And he always had that diabetes sympathy card.
Well, speaking of the Elon student, I brought some Elon topics to talk about today. You know, LA to Elon.
Right,
we are back at Elon. The first thing I wanted to say was how our football team is such a disgrace.
We have a football team here?
Yes.
Point. Case and point.
Last weekend we lost 0 to 70 to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad because I feel like as an Elon student personally and now as a senior, I don't really have the school spirit that I see a lot of other schools having for their teams. Like we live right next to Duke and UNC, and I feel like that's such a part of their daily lives and the tailgating. And I feel like that's just something that we're really missing out on.
See, I'm kind of glad we don't have that sports culture, to be totally honest, because I feel like with that comes the jock culture. You know? And so I kind of like our Elon thing we have going on. But, you know, there's always room for improvement.
That's true. But we do have Aaron Millette, who has just
graduated.
He's on the Ravens. So we do have that as a
picture of you two together.
Yes, there is a picture of us on Instagram over this summer.
Who needs the Jonas Brothers when you've got
Aaron Millette?
Yeah,
exactly.
One up in me.
Who needs the Jonas Brothers?
But one more thing I want to talk about was here across the street in our own little Elon Main Street, we are really going through quite the transformation. We just lost Tap House, so that's down to one bar. But now we just learned this week that West End, or one bar left, is going through a transformation. So could it be good? Could it be bad? What do you guys think?
It's bad. People are going to be just going way too hard in their dorms. I mean,
no, but they said it's not going to be closed during transition at all.
Not going to be closed during transition, but is it going to get better? Is it going to get worse?
It's already overcrowded because people don't have options. We already had few options
as it is. And they can charge any cover they want.
Yeah, they have right now. They have a monopoly over the bar scene, which people are desperate for, and people now they're going to have to go further to get to go out and have a good time,
guys,
and so people are going to be drinking and driving.
What about
it's going to be bad.
Sub-events? Come on, guys. Movies on the lawn.
Well, I heard the newest thing I've heard is that the man who owns the Root has bought West End, so hopefully he will try to improve the scene so we have a little bit of a better bar scene.
I do love the Root, but I also love a good drink.
It ran Town Table out of town, though.
It did. And I miss Town Table. And Town Table had
those
great
sweet potato
sangria.
fries?
And
oh my gosh.
Town Table was the
any
best.
day, anytime.
Well, I know you had something you wanted to bring up, Ashley.
Yes, I do. It's actually kind of something that a lot of people have been talking about. It's been even overtaking some serious news and headlines. A little old, but the VMA performance by Miley, which everybody knows the opinions on, everybody knows what's going on. But my question is, and I read a great blog post by John Palfowitz on his blog called Stuff That Needs to Be Said, and it's all about how nobody questions Robin Thicke.
Oh, for sure.
Totally. Nobody who is 16 years older than her.
And married.
And using her as a prop, even though, don't get me wrong, I don't like Miley any more than anybody else right now, but
I do still like
why
Miley,
does nobody question Robin Thicke in that performance, right?
Oh, I know.
Am I wrong?
It shows a clear bias from the media,
of course.
and definitely there's a patriarchal take on that.
I mean, that's something we've always seen. I mean, it's no big news.
It's like this pimp culture is becoming acceptable, and people think it's
funny.
It's
acceptable, and it should be celebrated, and I think that's really sad.
I know. Well, guys, we're running out of time, so I'm going to have to stop you here, even though we could definitely go on and on about this. But coming up next, our fashion expert, Kathleen, is going to show us how to stay in touch with the latest fall fashion items that we already have in our closet. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Now that we're at school, everyone wants to look their best with the latest fall fashion trends.
But on a college student budget, it's not easy to go out and buy a whole new wardrobe just for fall.
That's why we have our Kathleen, our fashion expert, here to tell us all we can about the pieces that you already have in your closet to stay on top of the trends. Kathleen, what do you have for us?
Well, this season we're seeing a lot of different things. There's a lot of variety in the outfits that are being shown. But don't fear. You know, I'm sure you guys all have a lot of things already in your closet that we can put to use. We have punk, which includes some leather and studded pieces.
Ooh.
Grunge also falls into this category, so it's kind of fits into the college mindset.
The word grunge kind of like rubs me
kind of 90s,
way.
but don't worry, we'll polish it up.
I see
and
it
make
more
it
as a
look
trendy
perfect.
look, you know.
Yeah.
It is. It's very trendy for this season. Absolutely. Bold patterns in the form of dresses and scarves are also in. But of course, we have our girly lace, which has been in since the spring.
Oh, I have lace on right
So,
now. I'm on
and
trend.
the peplum, that's still in, so you can still get perfectly great use out of those items. And you know, I'm going to show you looks so you can recreate and look that's all your own, but it's still going to be trendy and cheap because you already own it.
Yeah. Well, I have some models here today.
I do have some models here. Let's bring out our first model.
Ooh.
Oh, who is this lovely lady?
She's doing a rocker look. As you can see, here's the vest. Now, this might look expensive. It's leather and has some studs on it, so the punk vibe kind of fits in. It's also a little grunge. But I got it from Forever 21, and it was only about $30. I got it on sale for $25.
Nice.
So,
oh, awesome. $25
yeah, not
for
bad
a
at all.
trend piece is
and
very
this
low.
is a floral dress. Everyone owns a floral dress. That's something that you can just pull out of your closet, put a vest over it. You can do chambray vest.
Yeah, you know what?
can do
It's so
leather.
funny. I would never think to put a leather vest with that. It's like, nice, bright dress, and then you kind of like make it really punk with that I would never think of.
That's one of
You're
my
thinking
favorite
outside the
things to
box.
do. Element of surprise in fashion is essential. You know, it's what really kind of pulls the look together and makes it different, you know, mixing the girly with the edgy.
And another trend I noticed here is the shoes. This wedge
Yes.
tennis shoe I've been noticing is something that's really been being worn by celebrities especially.
Absolutely. They're super comfortable, but they have that little bit of a wedge to add height and to make it, you know, a more polished look, really, and the sparkle
everyone's
adds a
leg's
little
good in
something special.
Wow. I wonder if it's easy to run in those though.
I don't know. You know, running on a treadmill, I'm not sure if you could really.
I have a feeling you're wearing those to the gym.
You know what?
You know,
if I went
feel
to
like
the gym,
fashion
I would be
never
wearing those.
Yeah, I would see Kathleen on
Let's
the
bring
gym.
out our second model. We have
All right.
Caroline. Caroline is
Ooh,
rocking
I like this.
some awesome colored pants.
I would wear this.
Colored
I
jeans
like
are
this.
totally in.
And they were in before too, so that's something that you can just add again that you already have.
And if you aren't really into the whole colored denim craze, that's okay. You can also pull off this look equally as well with some, you know, blue jean, blue denim normal. And we have just a really slouchy, kind of comfortable, neutral sweater. You know, everyone, you know, has a sweater. Just put on a sweater, wear some cute skinny jeans, preferably colored. That's why this is a neutral sweater. And then add a scarf or an extra little touch.
And you know what? I think that's a great look for class and things because I am so tempted to always put on the sweatpants because I'm like, I need to be comfortable, blah, blah, blah. But this is polished and you look
And it's
pretty
just
comfortable.
as easy to put on as a pair of sweatpants.
Yes, and it keeps you warm too. You know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
exactly.
cold winter, so might as
I
well
know.
kind of
Right.
bundle up.
And I like how she's wearing the boots that have been in for years past, so you
Yes.
can keep wearing the boots that you already have,
Absolutely.
which is wonderful.
Very good.
Caroline makes everything look great.
And then the final look is me.
Oh!
I have a little bit of an extra glitter splash in my outfit, but every girl has or should invest in a pencil skirt. So I have a pencil skirt with, to make it more casual, a graphic tee, or in my case, a sassy tank, tucked into the pencil skirt. And then add just a blazer if you have a presentation in class or something, but don't want to look too professional when you're in a classroom setting.
You know, when you're walking to McEwen all the way from I live in Colonnades and I'm wearing business clothes, you get a lot of funny
It gets
looks.
a little, exactly.
But
so if you just
that would
add
get a lot
kind
of good looks.
a V-neck would look great with this, because this is a pretty fancy skirt. I know college kids wouldn't really have a lot of places to wear a pencil skirt to besides a job interview. This is a perfect way to get use out of your pencil skirt while still looking, campus appropriate and campus.
Well, Kathleen,
fitting in.
thank you so much for being with us here today. We have to wrap it up, but coming up next, Emily DeVito brings you into the dorm to see how to mesh your styles with your new roommate.
That time of year again, back to school. But it's more than just about academics. It's also about finding a common ground with your roommate when it comes to decorating your dorm room. So Etalk's going to take you into a room where two girls have mastered the art of meshing styles.
Emily Kearney and Sarah Baum are sophomores who live in the Oaks. They've been roommates since freshman year and started off by telling me a little bit about their own personal style.
I really just like the colors, I think. And then I just try to match everything with the colors. I don't have a particular style. I just like the design.
I'm definitely like shabby chic, rustic, feminine kind of. I love white, love wood, anything like that. So yeah.
With one more focused on a shabby chic design and the other on a pattern and colored look, these girls realize communication is key, and not just when it comes to their room, but their apartment as a whole.
And if you have like a common living space, like it's important that everyone feels comfortable in where they're living. So like everyone has something out here, and it just, lots of people contribute to different things. So just whatever makes people feel at home.
I asked the girls if they had any tips for our viewers on where we can find some decorations that won't break the bank.
And it's called a Drunken Ginger, and it's like straight down University Drive. It's awesome. She just like takes old things that she finds at yard sales or antique shows and just completely refurbishes them, and it looks really, really nice, and she sells them for a good price.
Now downtown Burlington is a great place to go if you're looking for cheaper decorations or furniture, so you may want to check that out when creating your home away from home. I'm Emily DeVito, reporting for Etalk.
My name is Caroline McSwain. I am a junior now. I'm going to be a senior next year, so senior media, arts, and entertainment broadcast major from Durham, North Carolina, so about 30 minutes away from Elon. I am a human services minor, So in the future, I could either go into something in the broadcast field or do something with my minor, so maybe social services work. My parents both work in nonprofits, so maybe something like that, but it's pretty wide open. So I'd say that's a little bit about me. If I were a flavor of ice cream, I think I would have to be rainbow sherbet, because not only is it very bright and colorful, but that's also the flavor of ice cream that my dad ate on the first date that he went on with my mom, and she almost never went out with him again because she thought it was so juvenile that a 25-year-old man would eat rainbow sherbet on a date. But I think it's very tasty and very fun, and they're married now for 25 years, so it must be a great flavor of ice cream. If someone were to write a book about me, I think the title would have to be, this is also very cheesy, but I think the title would have to be based off the classic Natasha Bedingfield song, Unwritten, and the title would have to be The Rest is Still Unwritten. You know, sort of an inspirational title, sort of deep, yet also a throwback to a great classic song. So it would have to be called The Rest is Still Unwritten, subtitle, the funny, uplifting, charismatic story of a young woman in today's society. The autobiography of Caroline McSwain. That would be the full title, yeah. I'm Caroline McSwain, and I'm your new Etalk host.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
We have a new face on the School of Communications staff this year, and she's here today to talk with us about how we can make the best impression we can to future employers. Let's get to know her a little better.
My name is Marianne Bergola, and I'm the Assistant Director of Career Services for the School of Communications. So this is actually my second time coming to Elon. I was first here in 2011 to 2012. I worked with Ross Wade, the previous Assistant Director of Career Services for the School of Communications. So I worked at UVA from 2012 to 2013, that academic year, working as a career counselor for the College of Arts and Sciences. But when I saw this opportunity opening up at Elon, I just knew that I had to come back because I just loved working with the students here and just the environment of the campus and how invested everyone is in the School of Communications and Career Development. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to come back to where I really love to work. Every weekend, I'm always baking something. Whether it's cookies or cakes or tarts or anything. I just have an awful sweet tooth, and so every weekend at my house there's always something in the oven, something sweet. Typically I'll try to bring it in because I know I can't keep it all at the house. So if you come into my office and there's some cookies.
Marianne, welcome to Elon. We're so glad that you are here with us today. So as communication students, all of us have to make e-portfolios, and some of us do that on blog sites, and we really need you to give us some tips. So what are your top 3 pointers for like the best e-portfolios?
So one of the first things that you want to consider is you want to get a sense of who you are designing this e-portfolio for.
Okay.
Is it something that you're using for application for internships or full-time jobs? Is your primary purpose to display your work? Just being mindful of what your purpose is for your e-portfolio. The second tip that I would give is just to be aware of what exactly makes a good e-portfolio for your industry.
Okay.
A student who's pursuing a career in strategic communications, your portfolio and the content that you'll have in it is going to look really different compared to someone who's interested in going into production or broadcast.
Yeah.
So just knowing what kind of content you need to include in your e-portfolio.
Okay.
And then the third tip that I would give is just to make sure that it's easy to navigate, it's easy to read. Just like your resume, your e-portfolio is a part of your self-marketing package, it's a part of your brand, and so people should be able to look at it and get a sense of what it is that you want to pursue and find the information very easily. So.
Okay, those are some great tips. Thank you.
Well, we actually have an example of an e-portfolio that we want to call up and just kind of get your feedback and tell us some things that are working well and maybe some things that you would like to improve.
I think this looks good. Break it down for us though, Marianne.
All right. So one of the great things about this example of an e-portfolio is just the main page. It's very clear. There's the visual aspects of it.
Yeah.
So there are some photos that attract attention. Taylor here also has a short intro about herself. So from the very front page, you can get a sense of who she is, a little bit about her bio. And you'll also see at the top,
She has separate pages.
Yes,
You mentioned
right.
earlier that some people will use blog sites in
Yeah.
order to create their e-portfolio.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they're uploading their content as individual posts.
Okay.
But here Taylor has made different pages for each of the different sections. So you see her homepage, her About Me page, video production. So it's a little bit more organized and you can navigate it a little bit easier.
And she also has a few Etalk pictures, which is always good. You know, that probably gives her a leg up in the market.
So this is more, is this too much about me? That's what I was wondering.
Yeah,
Should it be condensed a little bit more, or are employers really looking to see, you know, a lot about a person individually?
Is it too wordy is what I'm wondering. Will an employer read all of this, or do you want snippets, or is this enough information?
So a little bit of both. It's really just going to depend. Just like your resume, the first time that people are looking at your e-portfolio, particularly if you submitted it as a part of an application, they're probably not going to spend very much time on it, 5 minutes, if that. So you definitely want it to be easy to read, concise. And so this might be a little bit longer, but at the same time, she does tell a good story. So for those who want to get a sense of her background, how she got interested in her profession, she does give a clear story to that. So.
Yeah, and the layout is nice. I like the 2 pictures with the words in between.
Exactly. So it's not, it's got some visual elements that keep it from just becoming a block of text.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and then the downloadable resume.
Yeah, this is something that I struggle with in my own e-portfolio. I was trying to figure out a way so that when you click resume, it's just there for you to see, but it would only allow me to have something that I could click on. Is that detrimental at all to the overall feel?
And then the question I always wonder, is there an accent mark in resume?
Yes.
Or is it
What
really
do you
just
do?
spelled like this?
Honestly, you're right. I'm not. Sometimes I've seen it with an accent mark.
Okay.
I feel
I
like it's
don't bother
obnoxious.
putting it.
I never know.
I mean, I'm from Belgium and I think that's obnoxious because no one says resume. Like, no one pronounces it like that.
But then isn't this just resume?
Anyway,
Anyway, what do you think about the downloadable file?
I think it's definitely good for you to have a downloadable PDF version of your resume so that they can save it onto their desktop or their laptop, wherever they're going to use it. But I think it would also be nice if she had maybe you save your resume as a JPEG and maybe put it as an image, a screenshot, some visual aspect that represents her resume so that if they just wanted to look at it on the e-portfolio, they don't necessarily need to download it.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, I like this.
yeah, this is good. I'm a fan.
So you'll see for Taylor, she's really interested in going into production, and so she does have examples of her work. One of the most important things that you'll see here is she's provided context, especially when it comes to production. The reels that you include should be fairly short, no longer than 4 minutes. And you also want to make sure that you're telling the potential employer specifically what you want them to focus on. And especially with your experiences in classes or working in student media, a lot of times you're working with groups. So you want to be specific about what your role was within that specific reel. So do you want them to focus on the lighting that you did, the directing, production, or producing, being specific about the context of the project and what their focus should be on.
Right, that's a good point.
And she's included, she had included some examples from her internship as well as things that she had done here at Elon.
So then these are direct links to YouTube, right? Or you can watch them on the page as well.
That's a great thing to point out. She's actually embedded them, I think, on the page, and so you can actually just click play, and you don't have to go to another website, which makes it easier to read.
The e-portfolio or anything.
They always say that you never want them to leave the page. You want them to stay on there.
Windows or anything like that.
Exactly.
Those are some awesome tips. Thank you so much for being here today, Marianne. It's
Thank
so
you
nice
for having
to have
me.
you at Elon, and I know we'll all benefit from having you on campus.
Thanks.
For sure. And before you leave, where can Elon students contact you? How can we get in touch?
So I am right by the TV studios. I'm in McEwen 109. I have drop-in hours available every Wednesday and Thursday. You don't need an appointment, 1:30 to 3:30. And then you can also contact the main Student Professional Development Center at 336-278-6538 in order to make an appointment.
Well, thank you again. Thanks. Coming up, we're celebrating 125 years at Elon with a little trivia. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Grace Baldridge. I'm a senior and I major in communications. If I were stuck on a desert island, the 3 things that I would bring would be an unlimited supply of chocolate milk, and then an unlimited supply of water because chocolate milk is very dehydrating and I would be on a desert island. The last thing that I would bring with me is Beyonce. She's not a thing, but she really is more of an entity than a person. I think we can all agree on that. So I would bring chocolate milk, water, and Beyonce if I was trapped on a desert island. If I could trade places with one person for a week, there are 2 options. The first option would be Kristen Wiig's best friend, just so I could hang out with Kristen Wiig whenever I wanted to and just kind of fly under the radar. The second person would be our own host, Caroline McSwain, because I would love to look at me while listening to me say really insightful views on Etalk. I'm Grace Baldridge, and I'm your new Etalk host.
Welcome back. This year is Elon's 125th anniversary, and to celebrate that here at Etalk, we're going to play a little Elon trivia. But before we test our host's knowledge of Elon, Grace took to the streets to see how much Elon students know about their campus.
Hello, I am here with Katie, and we're going to be going over some Elon trivia. So Katie, what do you think is further away, Hardin Clubhouse or Hardin Dining Hall?
Hardin Dining Hall.
Well, that is a sneaky trick question because Hardin Dining Hall no longer exists.
The graveyard of Hardin Dining Hall, I guess, would be closer.
She caught us. She caught us.
Hardin Dining Hall.
What dorm is haunted on campus?
I've been told that it is West. However, I want to put up the argument to say that Coakley was haunted, and that's why they had to tear it down.
West Dorm, I know this for a fact because I apparently lived in the haunted room my freshman year.
That would be West.
I know people keep saying West, but I'm gonna plea for Smith.
Old woman scares the kids every night before they go to sleep.
And when is the proper time to go out on a Thursday, just so there seem to be some freshmen that are a little confused?
Okay, well, freshmen should not go out on Thursdays.
No, don't come to the bar at 10 o'clock. Please just show up at 12:30 like everybody else.
And this is kind of a subjective trivia question. When is the proper time to head out on a Thursday evening?
Probably around 12:30.
As soon as and or before.
All right, guys, let's start off with an easy question. What is the meaning of the word Elon?
Me.
All right, Caroline.
Elon means oak in Hebrew.
That is true. 1 point for Caroline McSwain over here.
I was going to say acorn.
Oak. No. Elon does mean oak in Hebrew. That is a little confusing sometimes. Sometimes people do say acorn.
Okay, so I had some grounds.
However,
the idiots say that.
Here, ooh. Oh, burn. Okay, let's use a little bit more sportsmanship going forth. But yes, it does mean oak. And in the freshman convocation, you get the acorn, and then when you graduate, you're a senior, you get the sapling. Turns into an oak. So here we are.
All right, now I'm warmed up. Now I'm competitive. Let's go.
All
next
right,
question.
All right. This next one is very, very hard. What is the name of the first female to graduate from Elon, and then she also became the first female faculty member?
Isabel Cannon.
Educated guess, but no.
Lizzie Lambert, a distant relative of Leo.
No. Ashley, would you like to take a stab at this one?
You know what? I think she took my guess, actually.
Well, as I said, this is quite a hard one. It was Irene Johnson. She graduated in 1892. She was the only person in her graduating class. She was really known for writing a lot for the Elon College Monthly.
She was the only person in the
to graduate in that year.
Wait, only person? Singular?
The only
singular person
human
in the 1892 graduating class. And her big moment was when she published something in the Elon College Monthly titled, "Is Coeducation a Success?" So she was a forward-thinking gal for 1892.
So she was like the top of her class and also the bottom.
Yeah, and the top and the bottom. And then that year, she was immediately hired on to teach French and mathematics. So go Irene Johnson.
Yeah,
seriously. Spread the word.
Irene. Okay, so here we're still at Caroline 1, everyone else 0. Oh. Okay, we have 2 more questions to give you guys a little chance to come back.
Here we go.
What was the first sport played here at Elon? Collegiately against other schools.
Baseball.
Caroline!
Come on!
It was
what if
baseball,
I had guessed that?
And the first game was in 1900.
Wow.
Was
After
Irene Johnson on
was
the team?
No, Irene
she
Johnson
was the team, a one-man team,
no, well,
a one-lady
she did
team.
graduate 8 years before that.
Okay.
But,
otherwise, she would have been the team.
She would have been the team.
Wow. So score recap: 2-0.
Okay, that's
0-0. Okay, the last question. Grace and Ashley, really listen up for this one. What is the oldest building on campus today?
West.
Yes, West is the oldest building.
It's the only original one after the fire. Blah blah blah.
I'd like to issue a disclaimer. I did transfer here, so I wasn't around all this knowledge. Okay, so I'd like to just recede myself from
year,
the
you're a
competition.
fifth year senior.
All right. Okay. Well, we can settle this after the show, but it is a 3-1 Grace 0. Well, that's all the time we have today. Make sure you like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for all your latest show updates. Until next time, this is Etalk.